lot, even though like Anthony's taking his exam tomorrow, you know, a lot of this is just about, you know, getting ready for the exam and the worries about it. We all go through that now, so it's not you. It's just a part of being ready for the exam. So, how's my sound? My sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any background, or is it okay? Let me know if you're getting background. Anybody can hear me? Background noise or no?
No, I can hear you pretty well.
It's okay?
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's talk about today about develop project management plan, but even though I'm talking about a particular area, it's always about the same stuff, okay? So the exam is always about the same stuff. It's not about one question. It's not about one topic. Because tomorrow, like when Anthony takes the exam, it's going to be about a lot of stuff. It's, you know, covering many different areas. So I want you to just make sure you know that the way we prepare is thinking about not one question, but 10 questions, 15, 20. Now, think about what I just said now. If you can get an extra 10 questions right, you're passing the exam. Because every one of us tomorrow, we could walk in. You should be able to see my whiteboard here. Every one of us tomorrow, if we walked in, Anthony, you're taking a test tomorrow. Every one of us can get 50% right tomorrow. Every one of us. We can all get that right. Well, now, what's the passing score, though?
61.
What? So that's all we're trying to do, is we're trying to get the, I'm going to mute some folks just in case, but you can always unmute yourselves to the right of your name. Okay? Hold on a second. If I'm muting you, just unmute yourself to the right of your name, okay? That's it. That's what we're going to get, 61%. We can do it now. So it doesn't mean you have to score 95. Yeah, well, you could, but it's not necessary. There's no requirement to be that good, okay? Now, so let's go look, and I'll go over the agenda for the people that are new. We have a welcome, and pretty short. Where's everybody from, by the way? You can type in your chat box just so we know where people are from. Type in your chat box. Let me see if I can get my chat. Chicago. San Antonio. San Antonio, where I am. San Antonio, very nice, Holly. A lot of folks from my hometown. Well, not my hometown, but close enough. All right. San Antonio. Okay, most of the folks from Texas. Got folks from some folks outside of Texas. That's all right. So they want to talk about a topic regarding the PMP. Today is the project management plan. Okay, project management plan, very important topic. And some key terms that I go through. And the reason I pick these key terms is because they will have an impact on more than one question. So they'll have an impact on 5, 10, 15, 20 questions on the exam. And make sure you're aware of test-taking skills, which is what I talk about all the time, and some Q&A, and we'll talk about the next meeting after that. All right, so here we go. So first of all, the definition of develop project management plan. So if you're getting ready for the exam now, I'm going to go and magnify this. Getting ready for the exam, you have to know some definitions, and I don't mean word for word. You don't have to know those word for word. You just have to know what they are. So this process, this is called a process. A develop project management plan is a process. It's a plan of defining, preparing, and coordinating all subsidiary plans. All right, I'm going to show you what that is in a minute. I'm going to get out of this for a second. I'm going to show you what that means. This is the PMBOK. You all have access to the PMBOK, right? Just tell me you do. All right, good. So in the PMBOK, page 78 in the PMBOK, I just grabbed the screenshot from there. There are all these plans that we use. We use the change management plan. We use the, see if I can scroll over here a little bit. Do you see what I'm saying? Over to the right. These plans, change management, communications management, configuration management, cost baseline. These are all plans in the book. Okay, so these are plans in the book. So know that these are called subsidiary plans. They're called components. They're all part of the project management plan. When you put all of these together, you have the project management plan. Now the term management plan, project management plan, it's called management plan, project management plan. This comes up more than 200 times on the exam. Okay, so know what this is. What am I talking about? I'm talking about all of these plans put together. When you put all of these plans together, you have the project management plan. They are called subsidiary plans, components, elements, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. These are all these plans that are part of the project management plan. You see right there, they use a word. This isn't a PMBOK now. Right there, the subsidiary plans. In other words, if somebody were to wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hey, what is a project management plan? You say, the compilation of all the plans. So time management plan, procurement management plan, scope management plan. That's what this is. Don't get confused now, because they're going to use those terms on the exam, and you can't go in there trying to figure out what a plan is. You should know it in advance. All right, so why do we have a plan? Key benefit. It's a central document. I really don't like the word document because we use it in other ways, but just think it's a central repository, if you want to use the word repository, or compilation if you want, that defines the basis of all project work. Let me go explain that. You do planning. What happens after planning? What's the next process after planning? Next process after planning. We plan and then we do what? After that, we execute. So right? So we can't execute unless we plan. So remember, what we're studying here is called waterfall. Okay, waterfall. We must first plan before we execute. We don't plan, we can't execute. You can execute, but you're not going to do it right. Okay. So those are that's a very important term. Don't forget though, I know Anthony, you're taking the exam tomorrow, but those of you who have a little time now, don't forget what I just told you. This document on page 78 now, page 78 of the PMBOK. Don't forget, you should probably know all these plans. Notice how they're all related to knowledge areas. For example, cost management plan, HR management plan, procurement management plan. Most of them are related to knowledge areas. That's the way you want to look at that. All right, let's continue. All right, some key terms. I'm going to turn it around on you guys a little bit so you can see how much you've been studying for these exams, for this exam. A deliverable. All right, we got a deliverable. A deliverable is something that we're going to give the customer. All right, so a deliverable is something we're going to give the customer. In which process group? There are 5 process groups. In which process group do we hand over the deliverable? What's the name of the process group when we hand it over? All right, what do you think? What's the name of the process group? Close, Jeff. You're close. That's right. Jeff, I probably know what you're thinking, but it's in closing. Remember, just take a step back now. All of you, take a step back. Okay, take a step back now. We are going to deliver a unique product, service, or result. When do we deliver the unique product, service, or result? In closing. Okay, we deliver something that the customer wanted. They wanted a brand new fuel efficient car. Okay, we delivered in closing. Now Jeff made a good point though. I like the point he made about monitoring and controlling, because what's the name of the process in monitoring and controlling where we confirm that the work was done right? What's the name of that process? That's right, Jeff. You see where I was going with that. Some of you remember 5.5. 5.5 is where we confirm that the work was done right. You see where the word I used was work. The work was done right. But when do we give it to the customer? We give it to the customer in closing, not in monitoring and controlling. Here we confirm. All right, so why don't we use it? Why don't we play on words a little bit? See, monitoring and confirm. Can we use that? First time I've used it, but it makes sense, right? You monitor and confirm. I think that's a better way to look at it because we are confirming the scope of the work. All right, so this is the way I study for exams now. So think about how you study. I monitor and confirm that the work was done right. Okay, good. Okay, so that's the project. Now change request. Here's a change request, the point that I wanted to make. There's a formal process. All right, so tomorrow on the exam, Anthony, those of you who take it in the next month, 2 months, change control is formal. Change control is always a formal process. Remember, I just said formal. I did not say ad hoc. I did not say make it up. There's a formal process by which you review all changes. By doing so, we control scope. We control the scope for the project. So on the exam, if something comes up and they use the word formal, you look for a couple of things. One, they're probably talking about change requests. Two, they're probably talking about monitoring and controlling. Don't forget what I just told you. This concept is all over the PMBOK. All over the PMBOK. Don't forget. That's what I'm talking about there. All right, now, preventive action is another term that comes up a lot in the exam or in the book, in the PMBOK. By the way, when I say PMBOK, does anybody just make sure everybody knows what I'm talking about? What is PMBOK? What's PMBOK? Good. Project Management Body of Knowledge. Which edition are we in right now? What edition are we using right now? 5th. All right, so all of you must take the exam with the 5th edition. The 6th is coming out next year. Don't mess around. Knock it out now. Okay, take it this year. If you take it this year, you are in the 5th edition. If you take it next year, you're in the 6th. So preventative action is an intentional activity that ensures the future performance of the project is aligned with the what? The plan. All right, here's what this means. All right, so here we are. Here's where we're supposed to be with the project. This is the project plan. All right. We're doing well, and we're not doing well. We're sort of doing well, we're not doing well. Doing well, not doing well. Take a little dip there. Does that make sense, what I just did? What preventative action means? What does it mean? Does that make sense, what I showed you? You see how I had my ups and downs, but where did I finish? All right, let me start over. All right, no problem. All right, so here's the plan. So what we're supposed to do. This is our budget, this is our schedule, and this is our scope. All right, we start working on the project. Start working on the project. Here we go. We start doing well. We're ahead of schedule. We're below budget. We're right on target with work for a while. Then we get behind a budget. We're over budget. Can you see him now? You can see him now, right? Okay, so now I know I have to let loose of the mouse. Okay. All right. You see it now? I'm doing well. Things are going good. I'm having a lot of drinks, more drinks than I should. Then prayer. Prayer comes into play here. Okay. Now I sort of get back on track a little bit, and then I finish the project just the way I was supposed to. I mean, if you look at projects, does this kind of make sense? It kind of goes up and down like that, right? You have good times, bad times, ahead of schedule, behind schedule, too much work, not enough work, but the goal is right there. Right there. Make sense? That's preventative action. In other words, if we just let it be, if we were just hoping, we could end up like this now. If we could just hope that things were good, maybe they were. Maybe they worked out good. But maybe we didn't know what the heck we're doing, and we're down here. So preventative action makes sure that we're kind of going on the right track from start to finish. We're taking corrective action. Let me see if some of you remember something I've taught. Some of you have been to my classes. What are the two schedule compression techniques? What are the two schedule compression techniques? All right, fast tracking, good. Good job. All right, so fast tracking and crashing. So fast tracking means that we run activities in parallel that are normally run sequentially. Crashing means that we do what? What do we do with crashing? Remember what I told you about crashing? What do? We throw more resources at it. That's right. We add more people, more capital, more equipment, more technology, because we're just trying to get the project done. All right, fast tracking and crashing. Those are the two schedule compression techniques. Good job. All right, I think we covered that enough. Let's take a question. Get back to where I was. Okay, question number 1. All right. During the most recent project meeting, the budget analyst shared a CPI of 1.4 and the scheduling coordinator an SPI of 0.87. The global IT project has many components, and the project manager is concerned that it will continue to fall behind schedule. What is the most appropriate expert judgment the project manager should seek? A, approve additional funds to have the adequate resources stay on schedule. B, the SPI of 0.87 is near 1.0, so staying the course is recommended. C, prioritize the work on the project to ensure resources are allocated to meet the time requirements. And D, rebaseline the project activities immediately and take the necessary corrective action. All right, what are we going to get rid of? What does not make any sense here? What are you going to kick out? Okay, some of you are kicking out B. All right, I'm going to get B. You know what? I think B is gone, but I think 1 is definitely gone before B. What's the one you would get rid of? Yeah. Why, Anthony? Why would you get rid of D? Tell me why you're going to get rid of D. Sort of. You can rebaseline, Anthony. Okay, but what? You can rebaseline, but what? What can you not do? You can rebaseline, not you, but. Okay, good. Jeff, you're thinking right. What's the word that makes D delta incorrect? What's the word? That's right. Brothers and sisters, that's the word. That makes it wrong. Okay, so on the exam, when you're taking the exam, you're sweating it out. That one is gone. Okay, it's gone. It cannot be the answer. We don't do anything immediately on the exam. Nothing. All right, so D's gone. You already said B was gone. All right, I'm going to go with you, but I think it had some kind of a chance because it was close to 1.0, but all right, I'll get rid of it. I had fun writing this one. All right, what do you have? Alpha, Charlie. What are you going to pick? Alpha, Charlie. I made this one hard, so I hope you guys like this hard one. All right, why is A right or why is C right? Why is A right and why is C right? Tell me what makes one better than the other. Okay, C allows prioritizing work. I like that one. Okay. Well, here's the problem. They're both really close now. They're really, really close. And so this is the kind of thinking I want to give you. Approve additional funds. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? What's the problem with approve additional funds? What's it telling you? That's right. And this problem was never about cost. This question was never about cost, was it? Because what we're trying to do is behind schedule, right? That's what the question is about. In other words, there's a hint of cost, but when you're asked the real question, you're asked about your concern about falling behind schedule. And guess what this means right here? Approve additional funds. Guess what it means? It means that. Does that make sense? You get it? You see how this stuff works? And so what the test writer is looking is to confuse you with a few words to say, if that person knocked out that one, they can knock out this one. I hope that makes sense because this is complicated stuff. All right, so I thought that was right, approve additional funds, but that's the problem, is that you're doing it, what I said earlier, unilaterally. Unilaterally is never an answer. You can never take unilateral approach on the exam. And we said this was wrong for this reason, right? You promised me when you take the exam, you're not gonna pick an option like that now. Immediately, quickly, nothing like that. Those are not the answer. All right, good job. Question number 2, the project is engaged in the development. The project is engaged in the development of the project management plan. So it should be the project manager. Let's say project manager. I write these questions for you every day. So the procurement manager wants to have input when creating the procurement management plan, and the project manager believes this input from the stakeholder is necessary. All right. So the procurement manager is likely to have input to all of the following components pertaining to the project management plan except for what? Cost baseline, process improvement plan, cost management plan, or risk register. All right, I want to know if you know what this question is about. So tell me, before you answer, what's this question all about? What are you being asked to do here? You're being asked to do what? Okay, so this question is asking you, the project manager, or you can say the project manager or team, project manager or team is engaged in the development of the project management plan, okay? The procurement manager wants to have input when creating the project management plan, the procurement management plan, and the project manager believes this input from the stakeholder is necessary. You notice, first of all, that this is really confusing. And that's what they do on the exam. The procurement manager is likely to have input to all of the following components pertaining to the project management plan, except for what? What are you being asked to do? What's the question all about? The question is asking you if you know, yeah, right. If you know what the project management plan contains. This is one of the trickiest things on the exam now. For me, it was, because when I took it. What's in the project management plan and what is not in the project management plan? That's what the question is about. So, the procurement manager is likely to have input to all of the following components pertaining to the project management plan, except for what? All right, so which of the following does not apply to the project management plan? Of these four, which of the four does not apply? Which of the following is not a subsidiary document? Okay. Anthony said D. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Jeff, you say D. Okay. Let me go back and show you what I'm talking about. Take these three: cost baseline, process improvement plan, cost management plan. Let me go back here. You notice here, these are all the plans, right? Do you see the risk register anywhere? Is the risk register listed here? You see where I'm going with this? You see why this question is hard? This question is hard because it just assumes that you know what they are asking. All of the other three are in here. The only one that's not in here is the risk register. Why? Because the risk register is a document. It's not a plan. That's why. If you go to page 78, you'll see the risk register later on, but you do not see it as part of a plan. Okay, I can tell you this question can wipe you out on the exam, because if you don't know what they're asking, you're gonna get messed up here, right? Because except. Does that make sense? Am I confusing it any further? Are we okay with that one? Okay, I'm gonna assume that's a yes, because these are pretty tough. I know they're tough. Okay, I wrote them. I know they're tough. All right, good job. All the other ones are considered. Why do you think they're all distractors? All the other ones. Why do you think they're distractors? Oh shoot. That should be the. Hold on a second. Let me go back here. That should be the risk register. Why are all the other ones? Why are the other ones not correct for sure? Why are they distractors? Anybody? Why are they considered distractors? That's right, because they're not even considered. They're not even options. So the key term there, the key term here is except. And they will use that on the exam quite a bit. All right, one more. All right. The project to train the hospital staff regarding new government regulations was approved by senior management. In total, $1.5 million is dedicated to this effort, which will begin by the end of the calendar year. When building the management plan, which of the following baselines should the project manager ignore? Okay. See this right here? What does this mean when I use the word management plan? What does that mean? What does that mean right there? Not the management plan only, but what else? What else could be? The PM plan. So on the exam, they will use management plan to mean PM plan. Management plan is the same thing as that. They'll use it, and it will be in lowercase, just like I have it right there. So which of the following, when building the management plan, which of the following baselines should the project manager ignore? Schedule or people baseline, cost or budget baseline, schedule or time baseline, or scope or work baseline? Which one of those four? Which one should we ignore? Why A? Why is A wrong? That's right. Okay, let's go back to it real quick. Go back to here. We have a baselines, right? Hold on, let me see if I can find it. This is hard to move around here. You see cost baseline is there. What else do we have? Scope baseline. And what else am I looking for? Schedule baseline. Y'all see those three? You see where I'm going with this? Okay, was that one hard or easy? Easy. What? You know, it took like 10 minutes to write that one. It took me like 1 hour to write all these 3 questions today. All right, I'm going to make it harder for you guys. Hopefully you'll fail. I'm just joking. All right. So, no, you're going to fail. I'm just joking, all right? Sort of. So, all right. So, this is made up. This is made up stuff. Made up. Made up stuff. Now, they make stuff up like that now. Okay. Questions? You can talk in the mic, or you can just talk to me or type. Was it helpful?
Yeah, it was. Question. I'm sorry. I haven't researched you to the full extent yet. But do you have any like online material, like any printed material that I can purchase to help me that you've done to help me with prepare for the test?
Yeah, just send me an email. I've got about 250 questions that, like what I'm discussing with you right now. I narrated 250 questions just like this.
Okay.
So, and I go through and spend like 5 minutes on each question.
Okay.
So, yeah, and remember what I've been telling you guys a long time now. You're not trying to get a question right. You're trying to use one technique to apply to a lot of questions. Remember this now. You're looking at hold on a second. 61%. All of us in here today, we can go knock out 50%. All of us. I'm just helping you the 11%. That's all I'm helping you with right now. You can call me the 11% group, okay? That's my job. I'm your 11%. All right, that's my job. I know I can do it because I've done it. So I had a student email me today. She passed the exam, so I know it can happen. What else? Any other questions? Yeah, Daniel, I'll get that info to you, okay?
Okay, I'll shoot your email right after this.
You bet. I'll send it out to you.
All right.
Anybody else? And Anthony, any words of wisdom or any last prayers you'd like to say? Last meal? Anthony, you're gonna send us an email, right? You're gonna send us an email and gonna tell us you passed this exam, and we're gonna be really happy for you. All right. Well, hey, listen, Anthony, don't pass this exam and all of a sudden forget about us now, okay? Because we're gonna be out here every Monday. A couple things. I want to share just before we wrap it up now. Two things actually. As I work on these, this time I'm at 41 minutes. Do you guys want me to try to keep it right to 30? Would that 30 be perfect? Because I can keep it to a 30-minute slot. Would that be okay? Or is this 41 minutes too long? Thoughts, ideas? Okay, 30. Some of you 30 minutes. Okay. Okay, I'll try to shorten it a little bit. Now, what about if I had another session like during the lunch hour? I know we're on different time zones, but 11, 12 a.m. Would that be okay if it was 30-minute slot during lunch hour? Would that be too difficult? Okay. Okay. So I'll try to do a couple. I'll try to do one at night like we are now and one during lunch hour. Would that be okay? That way we can move along with the content faster. Now remember, if you can't make one session, you can make another session, right? And I'll record it. All right, Anthony, when you take the exam tomorrow, you're going to come back next week and tell us a little bit about how we prepare. Will you do that? All right, awesome. I'll see you guys next Monday night. Would that work? All right. Good night. Y'all be safe. Anthony, good luck tomorrow.